Hello everyone, in this very dangerous episode of Project E46, I'm going to be using this cutting wheel on my drift car. Just kidding, I'll be using my Dremel to cut off parts of my drift car. That's because my cutting wheel decided to break right before I started shooting this. So let's jump into it. So specifically, I'm cutting the rear bumper on this car today, and I have a few reasons for that, as you will see. First things first is the jack point. It's hard to reach the rear jack point on the E46 because the jack hits the bottom of the bumper here. Check this out. So, that's no good. The second issue here is that the rear bumper on this car just is not in very good shape. A little while back, I actually blew this side of the bumper clean off when I blew a tire, banging off second gear limiter around a corner. I'll try and cut to the clip right here. And ever since then, the rear bumper just never actually fit that well. I actually lost this whole trim piece. The bumper basically blew off. This whole side was just flopping around. In the interim, I actually went ahead and drilled 2 holes in the quarter panel and the edge of the bumper, just so I could put zip ties here, just to hold the bumper in place because it would just basically flap around on the freeway. So at least now it looks proper, but it's not ideal. The bumper no longer bolts into place because the holder piece behind the bumper here is totally broken from when I blew that tire out. I ended up doing the same thing on the other side of the bumper, just for the sake of uniformity, but you'll see why I'm doing what I'm doing in a second here. So I did try to fix this bumper before by taking it off and seeing if I could just kind of reinstall it and see if I could fix the panel gap issue. But I ran into another problem, is that I actually can't even get this bumper off as is. And it's for a really dumb reason. It's actually this stupid valence piece right here. There are 2 large bolts that hold the rear bumper onto the E46. They go like up, one's like here and one's like over there. And this stupid valence piece actually has a whole substructure behind it that's held in with tons of clips and bolts, most of which have been broken and are basically impossible to reach. Look at that, they're all way tucked up in there due to the design of this particular bumper, which is pretty stupid. So I decided I'm gonna, save myself some pain and agony. This bumper's junk, it's pretty beat up. I'm just gonna cut it. That way I have better access to those main bumper bolts, and that way I have better access and clearance for my jack. So here's the game plan. So as annoying as this valence is, I do plan to get rid of it by cutting it out, it does actually form a nice natural shape in the lower half of the bumper. So I'm actually gonna follow that and use that as a design. It already has this nice whole area cut out here. All I need to do is follow it around the ends, which if you look on the end of where it ends, it actually trails off in a nice sloping design. So all I have to do is follow that as we cut all the way down. So all I'm basically doing is following this curvature that's already in the bumper. I'm just gonna follow this design and take it straight down. Like that. Now, the nice thing here is this is a base model, non-sport, non-ZHP, non-M, non-whatever bumper, so it's basically totally worthless in any case. That, and with the pre-existing damage on it, it's literally worth nothing. So even if this doesn't pan out, oh well, I'm not out that much. Safety third, kids. Okay, so when I cut the edge of the bumper here, I was actually able to get a hold on this trim piece and just yank it off. And so now we can see this little substructure here. This is actually what's in the way of actually me accessing these upper bumper bolts. So now I have a good reach in these guys. I can kind of cut the bumper off in sections and unbolt this whole thing and drop it out. So let's get to it. know I mentioned a big reason for doing this is because I couldn't get the clips off that held the valence in place. Now, you're probably thinking, you can't get some clips off? What's the big deal? You must suck at working on cars. And well, you were correct, I do suck at working on cars. But to prove my point, these plastic clips are so tough and so stuck in there, they actually broke my trim removal tool. This is a tool made for pulling out clips. It actually broke from trying to get the clips off. They're in there that tightly. So I've ended up just hitting the screwdriver flat out with a hammer, wedging it in there, and then using pliers and breaking everything on the way out. That's the only way these things would come off. Even still, they're really fighting me. Alright, so I've wrapped up cutting out all of the bumper trim. And normally I would hit the edges with a flap disc, but since my grinder is no longer working, I just hit it with a file really quickly, kind of smooth off all the edges, kind of get all the rough crap off. That way you don't snag a finger on it or anything. So let's drop the car down and see how it looks on the ground. So, cut rear bumper, yes or no? How do you feel about it? To be honest, I think it's just okay. It doesn't blow me away like it does in some cars with certain bumpers, but it's something to switch things up. It looks a little bit different than the average E46 sliding out there. So hopefully you liked this video, found it funny or informative or useful in some way. Please subscribe if you haven't already, it definitely helps me out. And stay tuned for more Project E46 content and Project Civic Si right behind the camera content, because I have a lot of events coming up soon and a lot of fun things planned for both these cars. So see you guys next time. Bye.